and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, found out yesterday Titania got buffed in the Koumei and the Five Fates update. And no, it's not a bug like you might have been hearing about recently with Titania. Additionally, since this buff is so nice, I am maybe considering changing my go-to Traces farming strats going forward. Yeah, that's how big of a deal we're talking about today with the changes to Titania's Razor Wing. So let's get right into it. Before we do, make sure to sub this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, discussion videos, news videos, all that kind of stuff to replace for Warframe content. And yeah, also, I'm going to show you why I stopped using the Neutron Star build on Titania for farming speedrun fissures. So looking at the screen right now, we are blazing through a mission as Titania here, and you might notice something on the screen as far as our resource drop. So once we open our relic with Titania, you will see I got 112 traces from the relic open. And why is that? Because of the new Resource Retriever mod. And here's one of the things that got buffed with that Titania in the Koumei and the Five Fates update. So before, in the previous updates, the only way you could double loot or resources was with the Smita Cat. The Smita Cat would give you a buff, but here was the issue with Titania and the Smita Cat combination. When you're in Razor Wing form, your dog or your pet or whatever is teleported away. But with the new Resource Retriever mod, you can actually get doubled up resources while you are in Razor Wing. Even though your dog is teleported away, you still are getting these doubled up resources. So that is the big buff right here. You don't need to slow down at all. You can play whatever, you can play Titania at maximum speed, but now you can just go in there with your dog, your cat, and have doubled up loot. So 112 traces in a 1-minute mission. And of course, it is RNG. Keep in mind, this is with a resource booster and the dog proccing. So yeah, it's also an 18% chance for this to proc, so it's not guaranteed at all. But yeah, now Titania can do this. Now let's go ahead and talk about Titania's build and how you could utilize this in everyday missions and why this is actually just so good. And yeah, I got 112 traces from 3 different runs in that farm session, with some of my teammates getting like 114 or more. Because the traces amount that drops is RNG, and then getting doubled by the dog or the cat is also RNG on top of that. So just keep that in mind before we go over this stuff. Alright, so as far as the build for Titania and all that, don't worry about changing anything on your dog. You can bring whatever normal dog build you like to bring, but the only thing you need to have is you need to have the Resource Retriever mod. The other Retriever mods are fine too, but not as good as this one for what we're doing. So Resource Retriever, 18% chance to double resource pickups, and Void Traces are resources. So yeah, you can do Loyal Retriever instead of Resource Retriever. It's a chance to double up credits or resources, but yeah, the extra 5% chance to double your Void Reactant, probably what you want over that. And then Prosperous Retriever is credits only. Not really what we're looking to do here, but maybe good for like the Profit Taker. But yeah, Resource Retriever, the only mod you actually need, and any dog will do. Anything that's not a robot can equip this very good mod. Now, as far as Titania herself, this is exactly the same build I had in my Darkwing Titania video from about 6 months ago. And literally the exact same. I actually checked it today. It's the exact same mod. So yeah, this is what I use on a near daily basis with Titania, and it's got a lot of ability efficiency as far as we got Energize for extra energy. We got Steadfast to give us a chance of free ability cast when we spam abilities. You're spamming abilities a lot on this build. Preparation, when you load it, you're loading with full energy, so we're loading with 755 energy. And Streamline, it makes our Dark Verse from Dante go from 25 energy to 17.5, so like 8 less energy per cast, which to me made a pretty big difference in the long run. Yeah, this build is meant for normal Steel Path, speed running through missions. Now, why am I using Dark Verse from Dante and not Thermal Sunder from Gauss? Here's the Thermal Sunder build, by the way. Well, the real big reason is Thermal Sunder from Gauss only kills enemies, and Dark Verse from Dante can kill containers as well. So since we're breaking all these containers, we're getting potentially doubled up loot. This can also kill enemies relatively nicely too. Now, you might remember from a while ago, I was using Neutron Star on Titania, but now that build is no longer on here. Why am I not using Neutron Star build on Titania anymore? Well, unfortunately, it's a blessing and a curse from the new Nova rework. So we've got Neutron Star Augment right here. This is what I was using sometimes on Titania before. So you can detonate the neutrons or the null stars around you to like seek out enemies and they'll explode. This could break boxes and kill enemies, and it went through walls. Now, the reason I don't use this anymore, and a lot of people stop using it, is that this ability, Null Star from Nova, has a 2.5 second recast lockout now. So watch what I do right here. So we're going to be spamming the ability as fast as possible. on these enemies right here. So I cast it, blow it up. Look at me, I'm spamming the button as quickly. It says ability in use. This is why Null Star Titania died, because you are unable to cast it more than once every like 3 seconds, basically. So because of that, we go back to Darkverse, or Darkwing is the name of the build, or go back to Thermal Sunder, because Null Star is dead on Titania. It's unfortunate. It's a lot more button presses to get used to with Darkwing, but it is still pretty good. Like, the range is nice. It does slash procs. So here we are with Darkwing. So as you can see, I can spam it as much as this will be pushing the button as fast as possible. This will just slice up every box and every enemy in the area. So yeah, unfortunately, the massive buff rework to Nova was a bit of a small nerf, or rather, actually a pretty big nerf, to the Helminth ability of Nova for this type of playstyle. Still a decent Helminth, but yeah, for exactly this thing, nuking down fissures, it is not as good anymore. Now, as far as the rest of the stuff on Titania, it's the exact same stuff from the video 6 months ago. For better or for worse, I could probably change some stuff around here for personal preference. But we got some power strength Archon shards. If we didn't have these, we'd be in negative power strength. It wouldn't be that bad, but still gets us over 100%, so we're at 114 right now. And I'm also running Matarai Focus Tree. What I'll usually do when I start the mission is I will Matarai Double Dash to get 40% extra power strength. I think it's, which one is that? Yeah, Sling Strike. Switching back to WARFRAME after a Chain Sling adds 40% ability strength for 20 seconds. So that's a free of 40% ability strength right there, which we do use pretty much every single time. So yeah, 2 power strength shards, 2 casting speed shards, because we're spamming a lot of abilities. If you don't like these, you can put more power strength on there, I guess. Or you can put more equilibrium shards. We've got 1 equilibrium shard, because this is a very energy-hungry build, and these missions are rarely taking more than like 1.5 to 2 minutes. So yeah, you're spamming like crazy for 2 minutes straight. This can help just because you get a kill here and there, get an energy orb picked up. An energy orb is going to give you about like 20-ish energy before energized, and that's enough to cast another Darkverse. So that's part of the thing, is infinite energy battery. Now, something that I didn't use in my video in like 7 months ago was the Furax Wraith. Incarnon, not really needed, but Incarnon is great to have. The big thing here is the Amalgam Furax Body Count mod. Gives you fire rate for your secondaries, and those secondaries do count for your Dex Pixia pistols, okay? There's a bug going on right now. You can make melee influence work on her pistols. We don't talk about bugs in this. We don't show bugs in the shield, but they do exist technically. The rest of the stuff here, we got Initial Combo, Corrupt Charge, and Galvanized Reflex. We'll get a total of, I think, like 110 combo hits, besides including the Furax Wraith's built-in 20 initial combos. So it's more like 100 and something. So good stuff there. Why are we getting all this initial combo and also Mythic Crescendo? Because Secondary Outburst works on Titania's Exalted Pistols. So on swapping to a secondary weapon, consume all your melee multipliers to increase your combo, or sorry, to increase your crit chance, crit damage for your pistols, 20% per combo multiplier. So yeah, this will actually give you a lot more damage on your pistols. Not that we're really using them for this, but might as well show it since it is a decently nice thing to have. Now for our Dex Pixia pistols, you might have seen I had Archon Flow on the build, and you're like, why do you got Archon Flow? This ain't Thermal Sunder, dude. Did he click on the wrong build? No, I clicked on the right build. The reason we got Archon Flow, which gives you an extra energy orb after cold damage kill, is because we have corrosive cold pistols. And if you mod cold on your Titania pistols, it will proc Archon Flow, or Archon Conduit, or whatever kind of Archon mod you're going for, basically. But yeah, for this one, it's a free energy orb every here and there if we are using our pistols to kill enemies. Additionally, Titania does have magazine size on her Exalted Pistols, so Ice Storm is pretty decent. This is pretty much the exact same build from the video 6 months ago. Yeah, good stuff there. Can kill enemies that are pretty high level, pretty quick too. And as far as the Huraz Kubrau, it's the exact same one from the video the other day. It's Buck, and it's didn't really change anything because there's no reason to. Actually, I think I took off Assassin's Posture because I was actually in the sim and wanted to see what the damage actually was happening. So yeah, as far as this build and Titania getting buffed, I think that this actually might be my go-to strat for farming traces. I mean, it was one of my go-to strats before for farming traces, but now it's like, it's a lot better now. So you just go find these speedrun fissure missions. You just rinse and repeat. You go in there, you kill everything. You don't need to ever leave Razor Wing, which is great. And then just rinse and repeat. Do that over and over again. We farmed thousands of traces yesterday because I was having an issue with Void Cascade. Because the patch we're on right now in Warframe tends to lag out a lot, I've noticed. So I don't know what's going on with that. I hope they can optimize it pretty soon. But yeah, I was getting like 112 traces. Like right there, look at it, 34 traces. That was not buffed. So it is RNG, guys. But this is a big buff compared to before, where there was no way you'd get these buffs in Titania's Razor Wing unless you had the Speeda proc before you hopped in. Because again, before, the Speeda was teleported away. As you can see on the screen right now, Buck is gray health. He is teleported away. He is not on the map right now, but I can still get his abilities to be useful here, specifically the Resourceful Retriever mod. So that's a big thing here, guys. And that's why Titania was buffed. Yeah, so really good stuff. Hope you found it fun and helpful. I'm going to be doing this a lot going forward, because I don't really run Titania in Endless missions. I run her on these kinds of missions, these speed run, like captures, exterminates. This is a massive, massive buff to that play style, which is a lot more chill than doing, level 10,000 Disruption and Void Cascade to some people. So enjoy. Not that you can't use Null Star. I'm just saying I don't use Null Star anymore because every 2.5 seconds is kind of a pretty big lockout in my opinion compared to before. So guys, take it easy. I'll see you next time. Bye.